Hi, I'm Katana Lee, and I'm here in Napa, California on a typical city lot to show you how you can maximize a lot like this to grow a whole bunch of food. So we've got some challenges here. This is a very shaded lot, especially in the winter. It's surrounded by trees, so in the winter when the sun's low, there's hardly any sun in the yard. And even during the summer, sun exposure is fairly limited. We're shooting in mid-January. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you can see we're not getting much sun at all. Now the sunniest spot on this lot is going to be that deck up there. So we'll put all the sun lovers up there, the tomatoes, the peppers, the melons, all those guys can go up there. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the vertical space as much as possible. Stuff can be hung off the side of the house. We can do trellising. We can even put a couple of dwarf fruit trees up there in containers. Now those railings are going to be perfect for boxes with herbs and flowers to attract pollinating insects. We can even put a little sitting area up there so we can watch the hummingbirds and listen to the bees work the flowers. Absolutely lovely. I do want to mention that the roof gets quite a bit of sun, so we could put some solar up there to power some of the things that we're going to be talking about later in this video. Underneath the deck is a very shaded area that stays cool during the summer. We can utilize this area though. It would be absolutely perfect for aquaponics, hydroponics, or even some raised beds. We would need to put grow lights down here, and that's where a solar system would come in really handy. The nice thing about this area staying cool is during the summer, when it gets really warm, we can grow some of the cooler season crops that tend to bolt in the heat. And if we work this right, we could enclose it during the winter and run just a little bit of heat in there, and that would give us more growing options. We've got a whole area along here where we can run a bunch of eye bolts and chains or rope or whatever, float your boat, and put hanging plants all along the side of the house. Now this swing set can come out. We've salvaged as much wood as possible. And since we're taking the seating area under the deck, we could put a nice little seating area over here. It's very shaded and cool, so something really spectacular like a moss lawn with living walls full of ferns would be really beautiful there. Right now this greenhouse is sitting in what is the sunniest part of the yard during the growing season. Since the greenhouse's best use is for starting plants and overwintering exotics, that can actually be done in a more shaded area next to the tree line. And we just run a few grow lights in there and maybe a little heater. We could put a compost pile next to it, and in place of the greenhouse, this area would be best served with grow beds and containers with vertical elements to pack as much growing space into that sunny spot as possible. Now everything on this site is going to be grown pretty intensively, so good soil and regular fertilizing is going to be essential. We can do some small animal raising here. One of the things we'll have to keep in mind is that even in the city there's predators. So whatever we build, whatever structures we build to keep the little guys is going to have to be predator proofed. This area under the stairs is draft free and sheltered and would be a really good spot for keeping meat rabbits. Along the fence here is an ideal spot for a coop for a few laying hens. We could have a little setup for raising mealworms or black soldier fly larvae, which would be nice protein supplements to keep the hens healthy and give you great eggs. The rabbits will produce fantastic fertilizer, and coop cleanouts will be great additions to the compost pile. From the chicken coop, we can make a little run for the chickens, which would be a good way to utilize this space between the house and the fence. And that space goes all the way around to the front of the house. Because this front yard is so shaded and there's lots of big tree roots, having a little chicken yard here with some netting over the top of it to keep the chickens from crossing the road would be a great use of this front yard. It would also give your neighbors an opportunity to watch chicken TV, which many people find quite amusing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to learn the potential of your city, suburban, or rural property, feel free to get a hold of me at katanali3@gmail.com or through my Facebook page. I also have a Facebook group called The Growing Gang. Go ahead and check it out, and check out my website, The House of Good Tidings. Thanks for watching, and please share this video if you found it valuable.